And Egg episode 6 on the morrow just came out a few days ago and I just watched it today. And my goodness, my goodness. Now the tone of this episode is understandably kind of low compared to the last episode, and I completely understand it because they're in the point of recovery still. We start off by seeing Dunk under a tree, leaning on the branch, and there's a lot of symbolism with trees in this episode. The Island of Penny Tree, the coin and all that stuff, and the coin inside the bark of the tree and all that stuff. So there's a lot of trees, and even my car mentions, so what, this tree, what does this tree mean to you? What does this tree give you? And we see also Lionel Baratheon consoling Dunk, like, hey, you want some of this and I want some of that. And he kind of wants to, make sure that Dunk is in high spirits. He's really, really sad that Baylor died and that he feels like he's guilty enough because he was him that caused his death, and he feels really, really, really bad about it. And like Lionel's just like trying to be like, "Oh, come on, bro. Your prince fought for you. I fought for you." He's only focusing on Baylor and forgetting the fact that, Baratheon fought for him. The Apple Boy, Raymond, fought for him. Uh, so he kind of feels like underestimated and all that stuff. But after this, we see Egg in his hall while they're talking, playing on Dunk, talking to his father, Mike. Okay, my son likes you. My son wants to squire for you. My son wants this and wants that. Would you have him? I'm kind of regretful that Dunk didn't accept the offer of him getting entered into Summerhall um, with them. I kind of want to see that in the next season about Dunk basically going with the Targaryens and serving them. I want to see that actually. I actually do really want to see that. I don't know if we're ever gonna get it, but I really do want to see that. I think that would be really, 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 really cool. In this episode, also, Raymond has this one night fling with a prostitute, and suddenly he claims that baby is his, even though babies don't really develop that soon. I don't know what's going on over there. The ending, and not only the ending, but Egg himself. We see Egg. He really wants to be with Dunk, wants to go with Dunk, but Dunk doesn't want him, and his father doesn't want him to go with Dunk. So he kind of says like, okay, you want to come with, I want to come with you, but will you let me? And he's like, no, I can't, Dunk. I'm sorry, I can't, Egg. I really can't. And so, yeah, and we also see Egg seeing himself in the mirror with his Targaryen locks growing out of his head, and he kind of gets scared because he's beginning to look like Arion, the thing that he hates the most, and he hates that about himself and his heritage. Since he can't get rid of his hair, he tries to get rid of his brother, which is a symbol of his hatred for his white hair, because Arion has white hair. So he tries to kill him in his chambers while he's recovering, and my car is just sitting there in the dark in the corner, just like, what are you doing? And he knows what he knows what Egg is doing. My car, Egg's father, knows what he's doing, and I like how the silence just answers that. They don't talk, they don't speak, they don't. He doesn't lecture him or anything like that. He just stays silent and comforts him with his hands on his shoulders, and I think that's a really cool scene, a really cool detail. Ever since this is the last episode, I really want to talk about it more, even if it takes longer. We also see more of Mr. Arlen Pennytree. Basically, tell Dunk that every night finishes his own story. Every night finishes his own story, and he tells his backstory that before we go to war, before the boys are sent to war, we basically brand a coin into a branch of a tree, and when we come back, we take it back. So it's basically like a war sign, like a native tribe war sign. Like if I bury this hatchet in a tree, it's a symbol that we're at war, and then once we're back home, we can take the hatchet out. Yeah, I really like that symbolism. Really, really liked the ending of this episode. Dunk finds Sweetfoot, which Raymond bought out of the stables, and then they talk for a little bit, and then he gives Sweetfoot to Raymond, right? And then after that, Dunk shows up. I mean, sorry, not Dunk, Egg. these names. I get it mixed up. I don't know. Egg shows up randomly and says, "Sir," and basically he tells Dunk, "Sir, my father has allowed me to come with you," and Dunk believes him, and they go on their journeys together. And I like the ending shot where Dunk and Egg basically go off into the sunset with Mr. Arlen Penetry going the wrong direction. So that's pretty cool. Beyond the ending is that when the Targaryens get out of Ashford, right? They get out of Ashford. Hiker's like, "Where's Aegon? Where's Egg?" Turns out that was nothing more than a fucking lie. Okay, it's a lie. So excited what season 2 is gonna bring, even though the season is over. The first season is over. I can't get enough of it. I want to talk about it more because it's the last episode. I don't care how long it goes, but I really like this ending, and I really hope we get more. I know House of the Dragon season 3 is gonna come out soon, so we're probably gonna get. I'm talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about this kind of style. I don't think we're gonna get that, at least not for a very long time. And be a very long wait before we get that by then. Yeah, Duncan Egg, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, 7 out of 10. I really want to rate it at 9 out of 10. You know what? I'm gonna say it's 9 out of 10 instead of 7. 7 would have been good for the title. I'm gonna rate it 9 out of 10 because it's pretty good. I'm gonna miss this show very much.